Hi guys, Wanjiko Karaoke is my name and I am happy to be back again. I have my guest. I have invited her again. As I told you, I'll bring her back. Her name is Emily. I'm sure you can remember her. And today we are going to talk about conflicts in marriage or disagreements in marriage. And thank you so much guys for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for commenting. And please continue subscribing, continue sharing with your friends. So I'm going to invite my friend to say hi to you guys as we continue with this discussion on disagreements on marriage. So Emily, karibu sana.
Thank you so much. She got this is now home.
Wow.
Thank you for having me another time. Emily Mbugua is my name. Once again, I'm so delighted to be on this platform. I am a wife, I am a mother, I am a business person. And so when you're talking about conflicts, I believe you're going to have a smooth ride on this. Thank you so much.
Karibu sana, Emily. So guys, I got some inboxes on discussions about marriage, and people were asking me questions, and they were asking about conflicts or how we handle conflicts in marriage. And before we start this, let me just tell you something. We are not angels too. We are also learning from this platform. It doesn't mean that our marriages are very perfect. We have issues also, which we have decided to look for ways to resolve them. Like we don't take things so big. Like we don't take arguments so big in marriages that we come to an extent of maybe not even talking to one another. I think we have grown past that in our marriages, and we are here to help that person who is like, how do we handle these conflicts? And these conflicts are like maybe your in-laws, how you handle your in-laws, how do you handle finances, how do you handle parenting, because those are things that bring conflicts in marriages. And we have Emily here, and we are going to have discussions on this. So Emily, what's your take on in-laws? Or maybe when you have conflicts with your in-laws, either your sister-in-law, either your aunt, somewhere there. So how do you handle that?
Wow, you have started on a very high note. But I have to be very real on this one. I think I haven't had an intense issue with my in-laws because it's something my husband did, and I always applaud him for that. When we got married, he put me in my position, even with his family. And I remember he kept reminding them, by the way, I say, I'm married, and this is my wife, and you have to take, as in, alini introduce vizuri, as in, and they had to take it or leave it. That, as in, he put me in my position to an extent. We haven't had that back and forth. Of course, you'll hear some hearsays here and there, but I also was decided, because of the things that I had heard about, oh, mother-in-law is this, sister-in-law wanakuanga hivi. So I went with there. One thing that I did, my husband used to stay in one apartment, all of them.
What?
All the brothers, all the sisters in one apartment. So me nikaangalia nikaona, this one, unless you actually told him, if you want to be a referee, then let us stay here. But if you don't want to be a referee, let us please stay somewhere else. So that is one of the things that I did to avoid conflicts. Because of course, mkika karibu sana, those things are bound to happen. So I told him kindly, let us live somewhere else. It was of course such a push and pull at first, because that is how they were used to living. But we left. We didn't stay there. Actually, when I got married, we didn't stay there. We went to live somewhere else. So we only meet when we have to. Because again, kupatana mara mingi hivyo ile ya every morning, afternoon, it increases the chances of. So being that I was not close by, so unless they come visit or I go visit them, it reduces the chances of having very many issues. At the same time, I loved the way he did the introduction. Not really at this is Emily, meet Emily, no. As in he put his foot down. Even when things were about to rub each other, he could put his foot down, that if we are going, my wife is going. So they were like, this guy and his wife always together. So it has really helped that we don't rub shoulders a lot in conflict side with my in-laws.
Wow, that is nice. I love the fact that he put his foot down. Like nobody would just come and maybe have something to discuss with him about his wife, and you are always his number one. You know, when your husband puts you as the number one, people will fear, or even those family members, some of them will fear to tell him negative things about you, which is a very good thing. But now, let me talk about myself kidogo. You are here, and you have just gotten married and you are the same age with the sisters to your husband, and you see they have to respect you, but they're looking at you and they're like, kaka kasichana kadogo. And you see, you as the wife now, you're the one to show them that I am the wife to your brother, of course, through so much respect. And you also have to have humility, because they're looking at you and they're like, kwani huyu anataka tumheshimu yeye ni nani, you know? Some of them. I'm not saying that that is what happened to me, but that is what maybe happens to many people. So how do we handle respecting them? How do we handle maybe showing them respect as our sisters-in-law, as much as they're younger than us?
I would say this,
Yeah.
Okay, of course, maybe if you're already married, the mess is already done, already done.
Yeah.
But for people who are getting married, I believe, you see, just like the way I have the responsibility of introducing my husband in our family, he too has that responsibility. It is his responsibility to introduce you, because the way he brings you is the way they'll take you.
Exactly.
He has a very big responsibility on how he's going to introduce the wife into the family. Na wewe ukifika huko, wacha kichwa ngumu. This is somebody, you've come to a family that was functional. You know, again, we get into a family that took already an attitude. You're already looking at your sisters-in-law like enemies. That is what they are gonna be. If you're looking at them from a point of, I remember me, I went there with Zile. Okay, me, I'm that person. If I'm told you're bad, I want to know it myself.
Yes.
Ubaya wako sita rely nayo from the hearsays. I want to have a first-hand information of hii ubaya wa Miriam imefika extent gani.
Yes.
So from the hearsays of how bad a mother-in-law is, how bad sisters-in-law are, I took it upon myself, nijue kila mtu kivyake. So that nijue, enyewe of course akukosangi wale wakali, but I took it upon myself to learn everybody. And of course, there is no way fights are going to start from at just nowhere.
Yeah, sure.
There must be one of you that is triggering the fights.
Exactly.
In one way or another. So wewe ukiongeleshwa vibaya na sister-in-law yako, unajibu aje? How do you carry yourself? When you go there, how do you treat that woman, that mother-in-law? Because she's just a mother like your own mother.
Exactly.
So take it upon yourself to treat her right, even when she's not treating you the same. I always say, these are seeds. And they will grow. Okay, unajua mimi tu ni yule what the Bible says.
Take us there.
So anything you plant, you shall harvest. So if you treat that mother to your husband, vibaya, you shall harvest. So I always say, treat them well. Hata kama wako harsh. You know, respect is not something you demand. Respect is earned. So of course, even when my brother gets married, we'll first look at that girl, zile za wacha tukuone vile unakam. Vile unakuja ndivyo tutaku approach. Ukikuja na nini na sisi tunakuonyesha, by the way, he's our brother. He is our brother. You have come, he's our brother. So I believe also we have a very big role to play. When you get into that family, how do you carry yourself? Are you that lady mwenye hata hashikilianangi? Mkienda Christmas, wewe ni yule wa you can't do nothing. You're the queen, so you can't wash utensils, you can't cook.
Wezi osha matumbo.
Wezi kata viazi, utachafua kucha. Unaenda kwa hiyo shamba hata kama kwenu huko unalima. I remember. I think like my first time kwenda hakukuwa maji. Miriam, unajua kwetu hatujaibeba maji na mtungi.
True.
So then I go and there's somewhere they have to carry water. Me, I carried them mtungi. I was like, ninaenda. So my husband is asking, uko sure utawezana? Wacha na hiki kitu. Namwambia mimi siwezi jaribu kuharibu CV sahi. So I went with my mtungi. Of course I didn't manage to carry it back, but I tried.
They saw you were willing to
willing.
do it. At least ulionyeshana wewe unaweza jaribu.
I was willing.
You know, there's this issue of ladies discussing their in-laws with their husbands, like you discussing their mother. You are there telling your husband how the mother is bad. Mama yako anakuanga mbaya sana. Forgetting that this guy alizaliwa na huyu mama. Hata kama ni wewe unaona ni mbaya, ufai kuambia huyu mtu babake ni mbaya. Because I have had people telling their husbands, your mother is so bad. She hates me. She doesn't love me. Mimi hata uko kwa siezi. And I'm like, you got married to this guy. You have to look for ways to fit in that home. Upende usipende, because where has this narrative of saying that mamake ni mbaya and you want to be with this guy na unataka kukaa kwao, do you want to tell me you'll have peace?
Of course not. There's a time my mother-in-law called me. I don't know what issue was there between her and the son, my husband.
Yes.
My mother-in-law called me. Akaniambia tumekosana na nikamwambia madhe, mimi siwezi ingilia. Juu mkipendana sitakuwa.
Exactly.
Sitakuwa hapo mkipendana. So as in I didn't give even it a room to even think that we can start discussing.
Yes.
You just show this is kawaida.
Yeah.
Muta reconcile.
Exactly.
Muta reconcile.
Wow. So I think it is our responsibility as women and as mothers and as wives to show our husbands the positive side of their families, because as much as you want to show him the negative side of his family, he is hurting. It's only that he cannot tell you. Uwezi ambia mtu mamake ni mbaya ati jua nakupenda. That person will feel bad. Sometimes they might not tell you, but they're like, you are telling me about my mother, how my mother is bad. This woman has taken care of me until I am 30. Then I married you. After 30 years, you want me to realize that my mother is bad, you know? And anyway, it is our responsibility. I had another point that I was thinking about, which
maybe
was
just to also add.
Sorry, yeah.
Don't, and I also tell people, don't put your husband in a spot of choosing between you and his mother.
Exactly.
Never put your husband in such a spot that he has to either choose you or choose the mother, because the mother is important and you two are important. Just stay in your rightful place, and he knows where you are and where the mother is. Just don't give him a rough time of trying to choose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because of course you will expect him to tell you that you are the best and his mother is bad.
No.
Do you expect him to tell you that? Like, do you think he can do that? Okay, some might do that to make you happy, and maybe they are not yet mature to realize how to resolve such a disagreement or such an argument. But my issue is, what do you expect your husband to tell you? Unakumbuka ile story ilikuwa ina trend inasema ni nani anafaa kuketi kwa kiti ya mbele kwa gari ya bwana yako, and I am like, do you even need to be told?
Does it even matter?
Does it even matter?
Tutafika sisi wote pamoja kwa hiyo safari. Nibebewe nyuma, nibebewe kwa boot, na ubebewe hapa mbele. Tunafika the same time.
Yeah, may God help us to be able to live with our in-laws at peace. You'd rather distance yourself if you realize that there's a problem that might bring disagreements in your family. You would rather distance yourself rather than making your husband feel so uncomfortable discussing his sisters with you, how bad they are. And of course, wewe utaongeza chumvi kwa sababu unataka bwanako akue kwa side yako, which is not right, you know. And as we have been taught, we are supposed to be virtuous women. And a virtuous woman is not a woman who is there discussing the mother-in-law with the husband, how bad she is, how the sister is bad, vile hawapendi, vile, you know, all the wanakupenda hata haukuwa wao, they even trying. But they wanajaribu sana. Mtu ametoka tu huko ameletwa hapa na unaambiwa lazima umpende. Na ako na kiburi na madharau. Na unaambiwa umpende ni bibi yangu. They try, you know. Anyway, parenting is another disagreement that comes in families. Like some parents, you know, I realized something, that the children who really misbehave, na wengine wanasupportiwa by the mothers, wengine wanasupportiwa by the fathers, and the disagreement comes in like, this guy is not performing so well in his exams. Ne mama anasema hata sio lazima asome. You see, you have that argument. Mama ni ana, mtoto akianguka mtihani ni wewe ama ni baba yake, kwa sababu kuna mmoja, in Kikuyu tunaitanga kunania, kuna mmoja mwenye anataka kuambia mtoto that sio lazima upite. Hata you know, nowadays when parents are telling their children si lazima usome. Masomo hata mimi sikusoma na unaona nime succeed. Okay, that is something that people discuss in families, and unapata wako na arguments. So let me ask you, or maybe we can discuss about this. So how do we handle that?
You know, parenting is another whole big thing.
Yeah.
But it is quite unfortunate that we can be having conflicts because of our very own children.
Yeah.
And I don't even know where people get the energy of having favorites. Because if you're a mom of 4, you gave birth to them, and this is the dad. How do you get the guts of getting a favorite? You know, when I was expectant, every pregnancy has its own challenges. And at first I thought that if it's boys, it's going to be the same journey. But you realize they are different. In the same case, every child is different. They have different personalities, they have different likes and dislikes, they have different giftings, they have different way of thinking. So they're not going to turn up the same. So when you see that some people are disagreeing because one is performing, and now that is what the father wants to take as a favorite child because they are performing well in school, and another one is not performing. How about if this the one who is not performing is the next keep?
Exactly.
is the next one. What
Yeah.
will happen?
Yeah.
And you see, such kind of things are the ones that cause division. And then in future, when your children are grown up, unapata wanarushia madheka kitu, we urushiwi. Kwa sababu you took sides from the word go.
True.
So I would say kindly parents not to take sides.
Yeah.
Just support your children as they are. Identify what every child is good at. Like for my sons, one is loves outdoor activities. The other one is a bit of an indoor kind of a person. I can't keep forcing him to do what the other one likes, because every person is an individual. So I would say that the cause of the conflict through parenting is because parents want to have favorites. They want to have a favorite child. And even for the hata hawa wadogo, even for us who are grown-ups, you and your brother and your sister are not the same. Maybe there's one who goes home with a bigger shopping than the other. And now parents want to draw things from that. So kidogo there are conflicts. But if only we treat our children the same. Awe ako nayo, awe hana, awe ana perform vizuri, awe si performer, as much as, and we keep encouraging them. As much as we know this one is gifted in this area, but encourage them to also work harder.
True.
Yeah.
I have an issue myself. I have been maybe handling. I have a 14-year-old who is, I don't want to say he's my favorite, but we are very close. I realized I don't know whether you have noted that boys are usually very close to their mothers, especially when they now become teenagers. They want to be with their mothers like forever. So I have a 14-year-old who is always by my side. He's always there when I'm in the kitchen, he's in the kitchen. If I am in the bedroom, he's there waiting for me. Mom, fungua. Like, he just wants to have conversations with me. And I realized something. When he wants something that is cheeky, or something that he feels that the dad is not going to accommodate, he comes to me. He sneaks to me because he knows the mother loves him and I have a soft spot for him. So he's there telling me, Mom, hata hii laptop naona nataka ingine mpya. But when I send him to the father, nauliza babake, na alikuja kwako kukuambia nataka laptop? Hapana. But me, he's telling me like 30 times. And I'm like, the dad tells me, sometimes he's like, harsh. Unajua wewe wanajua utanunua tu. And I'm like, anajua nitanunua kwa nini? That means there's something I have shown this person or this child that nimemwonyesha that I can buy him anything, anytime. Naeza hata kopa ndio nimnunulia, and the father is like, this is not the right time for you to have this. And sometimes you have those disagreements of like, wewe unapotosha mtoto. Mtoto hafai kuwa kwa laptop sahi. Mtoto anafaa kuwa kisoma sahi. And sometimes you find yourself arguing. And I realized that it brings problems because this guy is there watching some movies kwa laptop and he was supposed to be reading. And the dad is like, umeangalia vitu huo mtoto amekuwa akiwatch? And I'm like, I had not realized this. You see, most women don't want to be told that their children are not doing right, even by their husbands. I have heard women saying, anashindanga akionea huo mtoto wangu. Mtoto ni wako ama ni wenu? Anamuonea saa ngapi na di baba yake? Unajua baba hawezi onea mtoto. Like, they're just trying to guide them, you know? And I believe we as mothers, it is our responsibilities to guide these children, especially boys, because I'm a mother of boys and one girl. I have realized that boys wanatutumia sisi when they want something, especially teenagers. If they want something, they know that their fathers will not buy that thing if it is not the right time. But they know, because I have that feeling of like, kinampenda, sitaki mtoto wangu feel, you know the way mothers we talk, sitaki mtoto wangu feel vibaya, sitaki ashindwe, sitaki aonekane hana smartwatch, you know, all these things. And the dad is like, this is not the right time for this. This is not the right time for this. We need to follow these instructions, you know. Another question I had, or maybe another thing I had for us to discuss is, have you ever packed your bags when you had a disagreement with your husband?
I've never.
Have you ever decided that I want to leave this home and I don't want to get married?
I've never packed, but that does not mean that we don't have issues. That I have not packed does not mean
that your marriage is perfect.
Says who? Actually, Pastor Ito anatuambianga, if at one point you haven't sat down and wondered, mimi nde nilichagua huyu.
Ni wangu.
This whole world, I'm the one who chose this one. There was no better.
I know.
If you haven't ever asked yourself that question, then you are in paradise.
You're in heaven.
Yes, because we all have issues.
Yeah, sure.
It is just that I have never got to a point of thinking that I'm done. No, I haven't.
Sure.
I've seen people do that. I've seen people contemplate.
Yeah.
I've seen people stay with bags packed. But I haven't got to that point. Have you?
No,
Have
I
you
haven't.
packed, Miriam?
I have never packed, but I have thought one day, there's a time I thought I should pack. Like, it's good to
Did
be
you start?
honest. I did not start because even before I packed, my husband was there and he was so humble. And I was like, where am I going? You know, I have realized something in marriage. When you have disagreements, unaangalianga huyo mtu unashindwa ama ni bwana yako ama si wako. Huyu ni nini? Huyu ni wangu, ni mimi. Like, unasikianga umemchukia. You know, we are human. It's good to be honest. Wakati mko na disagreement, unamwangalianga unashindwa, who is this? Is this my husband? They choose this guy. What am I doing with this guy, you know? And many women, instead of now thinking and becoming sober and thinking when they are sober, when they are angry, they pack when angry. And you know, when you're angry, you can pack even the mattress.
Yes.
And even the children.
You can even break
everything. Your bag.
There are people who pack.
Yeah.
When angry.
Yes.
There are those that are going to break everything in that house.
Yes.
Others are going to have verbal diarrhea. You used to be told by Mr. Kaduku have verbal diarrhea.
Yes.
Others are going to have verbal diarrhea and all those kinds of things.
Sure.
But today, 12 years later, I look back at some things we used to fight about.
Yes.
And I'm like, wow, really?
Does it make sense?
Did we even fight about this?
Yeah.
Did we fight about this? Because right now I always say, I think I have bigger problems to deal with other than fighting and not talking to you for 1 week. You know, we used to kunyamaziana wiki mzima.
Yes, ndio, na unalala na unaamka na unaenda kazi na unarudi.
Sasa siwezi.
Uwezi, because sometimes you ask yourself, you know, when every day I ask myself, not if not every day, every time I ask myself, what do I deposit in this marriage?
Unajua daku inakuanga imemisa utiwe wiki mzima.
Mnarudiana, mnalala mkiongea the whole night. Marriage is just awesome. It's beautiful. Let's be honest. When you marry right. Because this guy, you have disagreements with, lakini wakati atakuongelesha, utaongea kama kameme, radio. But then I usually love that period of wakati tulikuwa. But I don't know what happened. When we got married, we used to have those seasons of kunyamaziana. Right now, hatuna space, akina sio kupenda. We have so much. And I'm sorry to say this to those people who are still in marriage na bado wananyamaziana. It's a season. Yeah. Because right now, you cannot even afford. Unakumbuka ulikuwa umenyamazia, unakumbuka kuna plan mlikuwa nayo na lazima mudiscuss. Unamnyamazia, mtoto anaandika message. Natakikana hii na hii na hii kwa shule. You have to communicate. Like, hamuna hiyo time. I think those times zilikuanga zile za mko tu nyinyi wawili ama mtoto ni mmoja. So hata mnaweza nyamaza juu hata mtoto haongei. Si ni mdogo. So, and you see those disagreements to build because you got to know this person. You got to know huyu mtu anatakanga nini.
There is one time. I can't even remember because I think we were like a year or so. I can't even remember exactly tulikuwa tumekosania nini, but of course it was one of those kindergarten issues. Yeah. And we used to go home the same time. Unatokea job, tunakutana stage, then we go home. So the timings were the same. So now tulikosana, atuongeleshani 2-3 days. Then time ya kwenda home, we meet at the stage. So I go to the stage and he comes. I see him, it is you, yes, and he sees me. But we can't even enter the same matatu. Kila mtu akaingia matatu yake. Yetu ikatoka kwanza. So I get home, nafika 1 hour he has not come. Yet I saw him
boda matatu.
Yeah. So pride inaniambia don't call. You can't afford to call.
Yes. Utaonekana wewe ndio uko na haja sana.
How do you break this?
Yes.
So I went, cooked 1 hour down the line. Aki hasn't come. I'm so tempted to check, is he okay? Did he get an accident or what happened? Why is he not here 1 hour later? But pride is on top. I didn't call. So then he comes and I see his face is so bright. You know he's happy because I'm tortured. Kumbe he's from the barber shop. So he couldn't even text me ati nimeenda kinyozi. So that 1 hour I'm there tortured, wondering, where
is this guy?
Is he okay? You know, I still care. You know, I still care. Najiuliza, why is he fine? Ama nipige kwani iko nini? Lakini najambia mimi ni breaking silent.
Never.
Siwezi. But anyway, right now hatuna hiyo energy.
You know those times the silent the fighting styles were like and maybe I can ask you, fighting style yako sahi ni gani? Juu hiyo time ilikuwa hiyo ya kunyamaziana.
Kai Miriam, do I even have a fighting style right now?
Sahi mkikosana unafanyanga nini?
Sahi ni kuileta like
Humundu, you deal with it.
Boss, hatuwezi kaa hivi. Angusha Kenya unaangusha hapa.
Sema nini nakusumbua? Ama anatoka unamuuliza hello, kwani uongee ni nini?
Ni nini?
Hata mimi sielewi mbona umenyamaza. I'm telling you, and that is what makes marriage beautiful and sweet, because you realize you have become so free with this person such that hata uwezi mnyamazia. Hata huna hiyo pride. Where does the pride go?
So, you know, right now we even have bigger things to think about.
Yeah.
Like you had said, probably there's even something you are planning that required your both decisions in it.
Yes.
Sasa tumekosana asubuhi kwa sababu ile shati nilipasa sijui what.
Yeah, I know.
We don't even fight over those things anymore. Now, in the course of the day, you need to call him and tell him kindly transfer this money because project imefika hapa.
Exactly. You know, so like hamna hiyo utoto.
Either way, whether mmekasirika ama hujakasirika, you'll still talk. And another thing, children, they'll realize these guys are not talking.
Yeah.
So watakuwa forced kuongeleshana. I remember sometimes back my son brought a stool in the kitchen and told the dad, come, kaa hapa na media wako. Sasa, siwa muongeleshani. Na ameletwa. Sasa utafanyaje? You just talk.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that is, you see, children also have really helped us, because I can imagine keeping quiet in that house, and my son is you know, he's big. He already understands. Because anakuambia kitu namwambia,
but I never saw our parents wakikosana. Kwani walikuwa wanakosania behind the scenes?
I don't know, walikuwa wananyamaziana wapi. But you see now, right now, I have no strength to do all those things because I don't even understand how I'm going to explain to my son that siongei na baba yake. Anakuja ananiitisha kitu, ninamtuma kwa babake. You know those back and forth things, like go tell your dad, kuja unipe feedback. You just realize this is nonsense. Like you have to communicate with this guy. Lazima umuongelesha. And you see, when people have disagreements, everyone lives in their own world. You have a disagreement in the house. Within 1 week, kama bwanako alikuwa na 100,000. Kama mko na disagreement, hiyo pesa hutajua ilifanya nini. But if you are together, you will plan for that money mkiwa pamoja. And that is why you realize when you have a disagreement like for a whole week, hiyo nyumba inakuanga imeharagana yote. Like there's nothing you people can discuss. Everything is not in order. And there's a time I was asking myself, what if we just decided, and you know, as I said in the other previous video, we are the pillars, and you are telling us, sisi ndio supporters. Sasa utakuwa supporter aje na supporter haongei? How do you support a person when you're not talking to them? And I am sorry to those people wenye wako kwa hiyo stage ya kunyamaziana na nini inaishanga, but I wish people could just realize how useless
and
it
how much
is,
time they
and
waste.
how much time it waste kunyamaziana, that you're not talking to somebody. You know those days we used to kunyamaziana because haku reply message. Like for real.
I always ask Miriam, like friendship, you're my friend for many years. We haven't had a smooth ride all along.
Yeah.
But somehow we always get a reconciliation spot.
Yes.
Somehow.
Yeah.
Sometimes you go, you detach with somebody, because people cultivate for friendship. I always ask, where is the same energy when it comes to marriage?
Yeah.
Where do you want to throw up everything simply because ati mlikosana juu ya kitu fulani? Because people mess up. We are not even 100%. Even you mess up. But the best thing to do, even if whichever kind of a conflict, the solution is the two of you.
Exactly. You don't even need people.
The solution is between the two of you.
Yeah, because you see, but I thought about it and I was like, it's pride. Imagine the pride. Because when you're humble, you don't feel like, I don't need to talk to this person. Am I the first one to talk to him? You know, those are the days we used to discuss those things. That mimi nimuongeleshe, nitamnyamazia mpaka ile siku ataongea. And it is your husband. And you see, when maturity comes in, you're like, sifai kunyamazia huyo mtu. Why should I even keep quiet? I am the mother. I am the pillar. I am the one to support this person. And the moment you become the bigger person, even in that marriage, things work out.
But at the same time,
kwa
hiyo point ya kunyamaza, still there is a place it really applies.
Yeah.
Because unajua kila mtu anajijua. Kuna wakati unasikia, the temper that I have right now, the anger that I have right now, we can't solve anything.
Yeah.
We can't talk about this. So there is a moment where the silence is important.
Yeah.
Because it gives you time to sober up.
Yes.
It gives you an opportunity to think through this thing. Because for instance, assuming it is an issue of infidelity, for example, you know, you need time to think. You need time to say, what am I going to do about this? So the moment of silence is equally good when it is important. Si tena atijua umevunja glass umenyamaza. I'm talking about when you feel I can't handle this issue right now because of my state of mind, my state of anger. I'm feeling, unajua tu ukifungua hiyo mdomo utaongea 4,000 words na hakuna hata moja itasema the Bible says. Zote zitakuwa hakuna, zote zitakuwa mbaya. So for that time you can ask, you can even tell him, because sometimes you find maybe you want to speak you want to talk about something but your husband is not ready, or he wants to talk about it and you're not ready. You can kindly tell him, please give me some time, then we can talk about this tomorrow.
Wow. I think Emily, we need you, I think, I don't know how many times, because we have so much to discuss about disagreements in marriage. We have not covered finances, because I am sure people also disagree on finances, which is a topic we are going to discuss next time. But thank you so much for coming for the second time. Thank you. I cannot pay you for that, for the time, but thank you for the knowledge. Thank you for the advice. Tutaona vile tutasaidiana, lakini si nilikusaidia tukiwa wadogo. So thank you so much guys for watching. We got this. We are here. We are happy, and as I told you last time, imagine we are going far. Thank you so much. God bless you. Continue subscribing, continue sharing and commenting. Bye.